Hi everyone, and welcome back to Gridiron and Grace. Today we are going to be decorating my hutch and also a spot right beside it. And I have laid everything out all over my kitchen table and my kitchen floor in my dining room to kind of just lay out the things I think I might use. I didn't end up using all of this, but I just wanted to have it all laid out so I could grab it and use it as I needed. So go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you are excited about today's video. This is always one of my favorite places to decorate, and we're going to get started on the top of it with my Christmas tree farm. I started doing this Christmas tree farm about 4 years ago when we lived in our old home, and I've just kind of added to it every year. I have lots of different kinds of trees and different shapes and colors and textures, and I do make it similar on both sides, but not with the exact same trees in each placement. I just want it to flow and, like I said, look similar to each other. But I absolutely love my tree farm. It is one of my favorite things that I do every year at Christmas.
It was the night before Christmas. I was closing down for business in my little present shop, when the bell on the door jingled once more, and then time almost came to a stop. But somehow
the majority of these trees came from Hobby Lobby, but I do have a few that I have picked up from Dirt Cheap as well. I do a lot of red truck and red and black buffalo plaid in my decor, as well as vintage, antique, traditional. I just kind of have a little bit of it all mixed in my decor, and that's kind of what you see up here on my tree farm. But now that I have all of the trees placed, I'm going to go in with this berry garland. I absolutely love this. I got this as a wedding gift whenever I had a Christmas shower right before Kenny and I got married, because we got married in the middle of December, almost 9 years ago. And this is something that I have found a place for every year. And since I started doing my tree farm, I put it up there. And I just think it is the perfect finish for this area.
we forgot what you came for, and in the coffee shop just next door, we talked for hours on end, and somehow we knew that we'd found something true, and that everything would change from now on. Yes, from this Christmas on.
Now that the tree farm is done, we're moving to the shelves inside my hutch, and you are going to see Rowdy in several of these clips. He really wanted to help, so I did let him help me put some things in here. And I never really style it the same way each Christmas, because I always get new things, especially like things that I found at the antique and thrift stores to add to my Christmas decor. So I'm just going to combine everything that I love onto these shelves, and then I will show you how each one of them are styled and pop in and talk about each one as we go.
From this Christmas on.
I I recently got both of these pottery pieces, and so I knew that I wanted them to stay out in my Christmas decor as well. And then I love wicker sleighs and bells. I got several of them last year. Now we're moving on to the second shelf, and I found these old Santas from the thrift store, new this year, and my little helper is just going to add them to this little crock bowl for me. One of my favorite new things that I found this year is this Santa mold that I thrifted for just a few dollars, and I knew that I wanted it to go in my hutch and serve as the background on one of the shelves, and I absolutely love it. Also, I want you to notice Rowdy in the mirror dancing back there or walking like a zombie. I'm not really sure what he was doing when I was editing this. I got so tickled watching him. But now he's coming to help me add some more old Santas onto this little drawer. These actually belong to my husband's grandmother. She passed away several years ago, and I was able to get a few of her Christmas items, so I always look forward to displaying these each year. The bells that I put on top of the little drawer, I thrifted all of those at different times, and I've had them for a while. And then I'm putting my 2 new brass bells that my sweet friend Miss Donna gifted me, and then the brass bell that I found last year from the Christmas open house. I love bells, and I do incorporate them as my everyday decor, but they are absolutely perfect for Christmas. And then I'm going to add a little red velvet bow to this bell.
Upon a falling star, so all your secret dreams can come true. There's something that happens when sleigh bells are ringing, when December is.
These Christmas canisters were also Kenny's Mimi's, and I love them. They are one of my favorite things to display each year and just remind us of sweet memories of her, and I'm so thankful that his family gave these to me to put in my Christmas decor.
Something that happens when something that happens when December ends, when December ends, yeah. Oh, it's Merry Christmas, baby. Merry Christmas, baby. It's Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. It's Merry Christmas, baby. Yeah. Merry Christmas, baby.
I started my obsession of Santa mugs last year, and I really have quite the collection to have only been collecting for 2 years. I do have some vintage ones, and then also some that I found at Marshall's, Hobby Lobby, Big Lots, all those stores as well. But in this middle section of my hutch, I knew I wanted to display as many of them as I could. I'm also going to be adding a lot of crocks and pottery pieces, as well as some spools and textile things. But I saw the idea on Pinterest of them displayed like in a crock bowl. So me and Rowdy are adding some of our little ones right here. And the middle part of my hutch turns out to be my favorite area that I decorated today. I love my new winter Courier and Ives plate that I recently found, but you will see in just a minute I'm going to switch that around in just a little bit. And then this little piece right here is actually a bed spring that I thrifted last year and tied a little ribbon bow on there, but I thought it would be perfect with my like spools and things that I wanted to display in my hutch. I do have so many little red trucks and red truck signs, so I knew I probably wasn't going to be able to use all of them, but this little one is so cute, and so I did want to add it, and I thought it looked perfect right here. Moving on to the middle shelf in the middle of my hut, I'm going to start by adding another drawer and placing some Santa mugs on there. You can see my little helper is back helping me, and I'm just going to kind of play around with them. I do add a lot of mugs to this shelf. This is one of my newer Crocs, and I have not got to display it yet, so I knew I wanted to include it in my hutch at Christmas time. And it does have a little top on there, so a Santa mug fits perfectly on top of there. And then I am going to go through and kind of turn all of the mugs so they'll all be facing the same way. I just think that flows better. But we're going to add a few more Crocs and things to finish this shelf up.
Jingle bells ringing in my ear. Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light, while we're dancing around the Christmas tree, hugging and kissing just you and me. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Oh.
Love how that shelf turned out with all the Santa mugs, but don't worry, we still have more to add. On this top shelf, I am going to start with this new crock bowl with a blue stripe that I absolutely love, adding a Christmas tree, some more Santa mugs, and then I'm going to go in with some of my new spool things. I have a spool holder as well as just a green thing of spool and yarn that I'm adding into this little coffee mug.
We go skating on the frozen lake, saying hi to every friendly face, and later we warm up by the fireplace. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs.
One of my new favorite pieces that I found at the antique store this year is this red ceramic boot. I absolutely love it, and I just popped a little Christmas tree on top of it. This is probably my favorite red truck picture that I have. I picked this up from Kirkland several years ago, and I absolutely love it and love to display it in my hutch every year. And then I still have a few mugs I didn't fit in the centerpiece, so I'm going to tuck them into a few places over here. I have this little light up lantern, and I found another one that I added to another shelf. So going in with my new Pottery Barn Christmas Santa mug and just a few other little touches. These antique sleigh bells are also some of my new favorite piece that I got this year, and I am going to finish the shelf off with a little Christmas tree. Now we're going to the bottom shelf. I'm going to go in with several bells and sleighs and books and some more little red boots that I got.
White outside and the night is cold. Everyone's lighting candles in their homes. Yes, it's Christmas. It's a magic time. You can feel it in the air that every child got their hearts filled up with joy. Yes, it's Christmas.
That pair of two red boots that I put on the bottom shelf are actually candle holders, but I decided to not put a candle in there because I just thought they were adorable without it, so I just left them as is. And now we're working on this last shelf. I recently got this galvanized kettle, and I just added a Christmas tree. I'm going to add a merry and bright sign with a little truck. These are some new coasters that I got this year at the Antique Christmas Open House. I love them. They have the 12 Days of Christmas. And then I'm going to add a little Santa mug on top of there.
Let our loved ones, our family and friends have a Christmas with so much love and with joy and laughter. Let us make memories that stay forever. It's Christmas today.
Decided that I wanted to put these little vintage cutout Santas in this boot. I just kept them all together, and I love how that looks.
And as I walk outside, hear the Christmas choir sing, Merry Christmas to you.
Now we're moving beside my hutch, and I keep this little stool here all the time, but I did have to move this small stool and this galvanized pitcher that I used to have on the other side of my hutch, where I put my coffee, hot cocoa station for Christmas, and this little chair that I had on top of my hutch for the fall time. I wanted to style all of it for Christmas.
Snow is falling down, and the colored lights lighting up this town. And as I walk outside, hear the Christmas why I sing Merry Christmas to you.
Top of this stool bench, I just put some book boxes, a crock jug that I tied a little red velvet bow on, this brown crock, and my new candle snuffer that I thrifted for $2. And then in these mercury glass candlesticks, I'm adding some Christmas tree candles that I got from Big Lots last year. I love these. And then I'm just going to add some Christmas florals to this brown crock.
Without freezing, yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart.
Added some Christmas florals to my large galvanized vase, and then on this little chair I just put a red berry candle ring, and then I'm adding this crock of wooden utensils. I did add 2 of my new wooden utensils, or Rowdy Man put them in there for me. I'm just going to fix them so they will lay up correctly, and then he is going to add my 2 new Santa Claus head candles. I think these are so precious and just look so vintage.
Having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family.
Finish up this area, I'm adding one of my other candle snuffers that I got recently, and I absolutely love it.
Here we go. All right. Now this Christmas, we're gonna dance. Okay. Come on.
Alright friends, well that is going to be the end of today's video. I hope that you enjoyed coming along and decorating my hutch with me, and also the little area beside it in my kitchen. I have a few other little touches that I want to add to my kitchen, and I will show you all that whenever I have another decorating video. We're going to start decorating in my living room, some areas in there, my mantle, places like that. I can't wait to bring you along, and we still have to decorate in Rowdy's room and also our big living room Christmas tree. So lots more Christmas decorating videos to come. I can't wait to bring you along for all of it. I am going to be having a thrifted Christmas home tour, and then also just my like candle lit Christmas home tour coming up in the next couple of weeks as well. I would really appreciate a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's video. Please subscribe if you're new, because I am going to still have a few extra videos go up as well, and so you don't want to miss all of those and all of the rest of the Christmas content coming. I'm going to be taking you to a few other homes and sharing some Christmas home tours and decorating there. We've got to decorate at school, so just lots more festive Christmas content. I can't wait to see you in the next one, friends. Bye.